Education and childcare workers are now eligible to get vaccinated, and that's good news for some USC students.
We tag along with the USC research fellow who gets her vaccine this afternoon. Her reaction, straight ahead.
And while Thornton music students are excited to get back on campus, we'll hear from a professor about returning safely. See It Live begins now. As many as 2 million people in the US are now getting the COVID-19 vaccine every day. Good evening, I'm JILLIAN reporting from Los Angeles.
And I'm Taylor MILLINER reporting from Los Angeles. USC has announced that campus workers, including students, are eligible to be vaccinated.
USC senior Zoe Navapanich is one of those students and got her first vaccine this afternoon.
When I first found out I was eligible for the vaccine, I was super excited. It made me feel like going to work was going to be so much safer and that I could finally get back into the lab and do what I've been missing out in for the past couple of months.
Zoe went to USC Keck Hospital to receive the vaccine. Because of her status as a fellow, she was asked for her fellowship acceptance letter and a letter from her boss. The process took her an hour.
When I called the USC Keck hotline to schedule my appointment, they were a little bit busy, so I left my phone number as a callback, and eventually they reached out to me later that day, and I was able to schedule an appointment for today, which was the next day. All of the staff was super accommodating and professional. It took a little bit of time because my paperwork was different from some of the other people's because I'm a research fellow instead of an employee technically. But everyone was super helpful in figuring out how to get me through the system in time. If I had to say anything to other students looking to schedule their vaccine appointment, I would say absolutely do it as soon as you possibly can. The more people who are vaccinated in the community, the safer it is for everybody there. And I encourage you all to not hesitate.
Here's some important information to receive the vaccine. Workers must show a pay stub or bring a letter as proof of employment. Vaccines are available through USC Keck Medicine and at LA County and city vaccine sites. Eligible USC faculty and staff can book vaccine appointments at Lyon Center or Keck School of Medicine. The school is prioritizing some groups for on-campus vaccinations.
Our priority for vaccination this week has been our staff who have been working on campus, are essential employees. So the groups that were primarily vaccinated this week include our transportation, environmental services, custodial, housing, people that have really been here coming in every day in front-facing roles. That was really the group that we were very happy to be able to provide vaccination to this week.
Several USC students have been able to get vaccinated because of the work they do. I'm OLIVIA NOVATO reporting live from Hermosa Beach. Some students have been eligible to receive the vaccine after qualifying as essential workers.
I'm technically an essential worker in the state of Nevada. I was working for a childcare organization. No, I feel great about having gotten the vaccine. I feel so much more protected.
So I'm a childcare worker, and I received it at a time when childcare and educators were being prioritized. Like being able to sort of do our daily tasks without the fear of, oh my gosh, my mom's going to get exposed at work. I'm going to get exposed at work. It's a relief. It's a big relief.
In the coming weeks, more students could become eligible as the next tier includes people ages 16 to 64 who are immunocompromised.
Those with compromised immune systems are especially vulnerable to complications from COVID-19, but many in the younger age group have yet to receive the vaccine. Many of those students are looking forward to feeling safer.
For me in particular, I don't create memory. So there is up in the air that I might go through the symptoms of the vaccine and then not receive any benefit from it at all because my body didn't create any antibodies to it. So I'm getting vaccinated on Wednesday. I'm kind of hesitant only because the vaccine has not been tested on anybody with really autoimmune conditions. But I do know that it's important that we reach a community standard, and I'm committed to also living life a little more freely.
In the state of Texas right now, it says that anyone who's like over the age of 18 and immunocompromised can get it. And my mom, because she works in the healthcare field, got like a notification really fast and she signed me up for it. I'm immunocompromised and I have a very big immediate family. So like, and 3 of the people in my house are immunocompromised. So like my parents were very strict on us and I was not allowed to leave my house.
With more vaccines becoming available, immunocompromised students are looking forward to returning to campus safely as schools like USC roll out plans to return in person. Many people who have already had COVID-19 are opting out, assuming that they are immune. But that's not the case for Jocelyn Lopez. The USC grad had the virus last fall and shares why she'll still be lining up.
It's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, I've had it, I'm automatically immune type of deal, because I don't think that's how that works. And I understand that getting the vaccine could possibly help me stay healthy in the long run, and that's kind of all I can hope for.
It's an assumption with some good information that if you've had COVID, particularly COVID illness, that you're immune, you have natural immunity to reinfection that'll last at least several months. Now, will it last a year? Will it last 10 years? Will it protect you for life? We don't know the answers to those questions. We really want to reduce transmission of this virus in the community. We can best do that by getting everybody vaccinated.
The CDC says people who have already had COVID-19 should still get vaccinated. If you've been treated for the virus with antibodies or convalescent plasma, it's recommended to wait 90 days before being vaccinated.
Here in the United States, there are still groups of people who are waiting to become eligible to get the vaccine. But one USC student at home in China explains why she didn't have to wait.
For my area, we can get vaccine for the people above 18 years old and under 60 years old or 68 years old. Because I plan to go back to the US maybe in summer or fall to take in-person classes. I know I miss the campus so much, but I'm still not sure about the safety, about the COVID-19 situation there. So I feel personally safer if I get vaccine.
An international student from Argentina who is here in Los Angeles says just because the vaccine is available and free doesn't mean she's going to get it.
So about the vaccine in particular, I'm not sure it's safe enough. And I know that in some cases, the benefit outweigh the risk. I think that in my case, as a PhD student that can perfectly work from home, the risk outweigh the benefits of getting the vaccine.
While Maria stays in the US studying at USC, people in Argentina are protesting in the streets over alleged corruption in the vaccine rollout. Some people are finding ways to get the vaccine, even if it's not quite their turn. Jeremy Davis is a USC student who got vaccinated after being told that vaccines were left over at the Inglewood Clinic.
I showed up at the end of the day, and there's a long line. After the line was getting shorter, they actually were saying that they had a shortage, and they told everybody to go home. But my mom and brother just said stay. I was actually the last person to get the first vaccine for that night.
Tonight, we still don't know when all students can be vaccinated. I'm Liza Monasabian, reporting from Los Angeles. One USC professor says he sees a lot of positives to reopening the campus.
I feel much safer going back to campus than I did before we even had the idea of a vaccine. Yes, no matter what decision we're going to make, we're going to have an unequal repercussions on the student body. But I think the positives of opening a campus to those that can come far outweighs the costs of the unequal access to it.
Some faculty members feel remote lessons and performances have been successful and don't see a need to come back to campus until students are vaccinated. Others believe in-person instruction should be evaluated on a case-by-case basis.
I think what I've heard the entire time from USC is that as plans to restart and reopen have evolved and then get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, they would totally respect an employee's desires around that, whether they're comfortable coming back with all the students vaccinated or not.
Those are some very interesting perspectives to hear, because I really hadn't thought about the fact that there was so much to consider in the virtual education space for people who were in the performing arts.
Exactly. Zoom is already hard enough. That's it for See It Live. Thank you so much for watching.
From everyone at See It Live, have a great night.